to you, my people? You know what it is, Don Tony Toughline. I am back at you. Another one, and this one is we are talking PlURIBUS, not just the last episode. We're going to talk about the whole season, everything that we've seen going on. We will talk about the last episode also. I got to hit this, I think. All right. Well, I don't. All right. I don't know why this is like this, but it is like this, and I can't see shit. This, I don't know why I even put this thing in there. Let's just remove it. How about that? Remove this destination from the stream. Yes, let's get rid of that. Save the changes. All right, there we got rid of that stuff. We're not paying Twitter to stream on there. Ain't doing that shit. Fuck that. What up, everybody? I'm glad to see. It feels like I have not been out here for a very long time. I don't know if that's the case, but it does feel like I have not been on this motherfucker for a very long time. And I'd say thank you for everyone who continues to support Teflon TV, still supports the Don. And again, you can call me up. 518-290-0848 is the number for you to call me. Or I guess I'm on, I don't know if it's the camera style or if it's just the regular style. I don't know. They know some changing shit around, and every time people got to change stuff around. But make sure you call me up 518-290-0848 so that we can, and the number's on the bottom on the scroll right there, so we can talk about this whole situation of this show and everything else and all that. But before we get right into it, let me say what up to the people who are here joining me right now. Let me give the shout outs to the people up in the building. You know what I mean? Right now, we got my man TNJ's up in the building, rocking with us right now. We got Sam up in this piece. John Haymaker is up here. My man Ed Martin is up in here. We got Whip. Is that saying right there? Whiplash is up in the building, rocking with us right now. Thank you all for coming. There are more people here. People are like, that's all I was there. No, there are more people here. We will give more shout outs as it goes on and stuff. You know Peter Griffin has got to be in the building. You know that, right? And I'm trying to see where I put the chat on the comments on the stage. Show comments on stage. There we go. All right, jeez. They just move stuff around. They change stuff up and everything else. You know what I mean? And that's what I thought this was a YouTube short video. It's like, I don't know, these YouTube, like, it's like it depends which way you're watching it, I guess. I guess sometimes it's in short format. I guess sometimes it's in the regular format. I don't know. It says that now on StreamYard you have to like put both of them up. I got my little sexy on. I got it open for you. Dynamic dog, what's going on? What's going on? Thank you for being a member. I really truly appreciate it. All right. Again, you can call me up. 518-290-0848 is the number to call up to speak to me and everything else. I have no idea what this. It's got too much stuff going on StreamYard. I think they're overdoing it right now. I think they're overdoing it. But it is what it is, because now this thing is open. How do I close this size thing? Like, I don't need to see that. All right, there we go. What up? What up, Fatima? Oh, Fatima, I'm sorry. What up, Fatima? How you doing? I got that. I got the other saying for from on there and everything. All right, so let's right. You goddamn right. Well, better call Tony. Better call me. Better. That's what we're talking about. All right, so when dealing with this last episode and all the episodes before, I think that this show, because I haven't given my comments live about the show, I think it's a really good show. Is it great? It's not great yet. Doesn't mean it can't be. And it's going to be hard for it to be, because I think that when you deal with the problems of the show inside of that universe and everything that's set up, that they have everybody on the planet, right? That is underneath this happiness virus that they got, right? Or happiness DNA, whatever you want. You have everyone on there. Let me have a select few people right now that aren't on it, right? Not many people. Now, we've seen a bunch of them already, but there are still some out there. But we know that Ray Seahorn is the lead of this show, and she's going to continue to be a lead in this show. So how do they solve this situation with her just being in it and it not getting boring, right? You can, there's only so many times that you can have these people come to her and she could smile in their face and say something and that remains productive, right? There's got to be a point in this whole situation where the rubber has to meet the road in this show. I can't just keep seeing her going to the supermarket and trying to do a mundane thing. And I understand why she's doing it. She's just trying to live her life regular. But the fact that it's just her and that is the character. Now, I can see how they may try to attempt it when it's all said and done, but we gotta understand that like everything that's going on here and what's going on. Summerfield Dynamic Dog? Great to see you. I am doing good. I'm working out. We're trying to get there. You know what I'm saying? We try to do our thing and get where we go and try to do to get everything going on and everything else. So, what up, Real Cinema Therapy? But up to you. So, I can see, I'm sure we can all see how it's going to go, but the dynamic of the show itself, especially if it's supposed to go on seasons, this is not just a one season and done show. How do we address this situation and then make it something that people that's exciting for the fans, for all of us to watch, right? How are they going to basically pull that up? Edward says she's going to find out the reasoning behind the alien message, and it's going to wake her, and it's going to be on her to wake them up. Yes, that's what's got to happen eventually. But how long till that happens? Can't happen in season one. Can't happen. So are we going to get to a point where if she does find that, let's say she found that this season, and then she started making people unhappy, it's the whole world she's against, right? So it's not like she's going to be able to hide. They've already shown that they have drones flying overhead, right, the whole time, spying on her everywhere. They have access to every camera system there is. They have access to all of the transportation that is out there. They have access to everything. So she can't just hide, right? She can't just go away, hide, and that's going to be it. Get a few people back, or free a few people and then hide. They're going to come and get you. I mean, they are eventually going to happen. And I think we're going to have to see that shift. They're going to have to get that shift going on. Eventually, the smiley face of these people we have to see through this mask. We can't just have these people up here happy the whole time and then that's it, because it's just not going to work. I mean, the show won't work. It could work a few episodes, as it has. But for the long run, I'm sure Vince Gilligan, as a great writer as he is, that he has a plan for this whole situation. But it's hard for me to see exactly how the show maintains and keeps you interested, because like I said, first episode was amazing. Second episode was, I would say, not as good as the first, but still a great episode. The third episode, I would say, out of all the episodes, I would say that was the weakest one so far, right? And everything, throwing the grenade outside the window and everything else, and I understand, and I understand what they were trying to build and why they were doing that. But to me, I just think they need to do something else. We got a super chat here. Thank you for the super chat. It is from Michael Parker, and he says, "Salute, big bro. You getting slim on us." I'm starting back on keto. Thank God, not chemo, brother, but keto. Hope that you and your family are doing well. PlURIBUS is good, but I'm waiting on From return. I am waiting on From too. Obviously, it's my favorite show out there. I think this is a good show and something to hold us over until From gets there. And I do think that it has a good chance to go somewhere. I don't know if I'm getting thin. I'm still weighing 192 pounds right now. But before, I was weighing 235. So from 235 down to like 192. So I guess that would be thinner and stuff. So I ain't thin. We doing our thing up in there. But thank you for the super chat. I truly appreciate it. So yeah, I think that's where I see an issue with the show is how. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that. You know, and thank you. I'll highlight the lady. I'm sorry, Ed. You know, I gotta highlight the lady. You know, I gotta highlight the lady. I'm sorry, Ed. You know what I'm saying? You understand, my brother. You understand. But you know, I think that what we have to see is where the rubber meets the road. Again, if you watch my videos, which not many people have, I've watched them, but you see that I have talked about all the time, you know, the color in this show and the meaning of the color. And anytime you see purple in this show, know that that represents the collective. Anytime we see the color purple, it is going to be a representation of the collective. And if you go through and you look at everything that you see, you will see that that is exactly the case. Even when Carol buried her girlfriend, what did they put on her gravestone? It was a purple flower. Why? Because she joined the collective right before she died. So that's why the purple flower was on her. All right. And that's what we see when we look at the yellow color that is being involved in this show. We know that yellow is a sign of feminine power. Right, that is what it is a symbol for, and we see it. She is the heroine, and she is the one wearing the yellow all the time and stuff. Right. So when we look at all that, when you look at the blue color, especially when they were inside of the ice, and you see that it was all tinted in blue, it wasn't just for aesthetics because it looked great, even though it did. But it wasn't just for that. It's to show you what is blue. Blue is cold. Blue is when you freeze and you ice, it's about preservation. And by her having these flashbacks, she's trying to preserve the memory of her loved one, all right, of her lady friend. She's trying to preserve that. But in the end, as she did not like the ice, why she hated the ice situation, right? And she hated all of being inside of there, but yet her partner loved it. She is trapped inside it because blue also and ice also represents solitude, right? It represents just being, she was able, her girlfriend, and thank you for the gifted membership. Somebody give a shout to Fatima for that. And if you did get that membership, you know, you let her know that you happy that she did it. I'm happy that you did it. But you see how her girlfriend was able to enjoy the solitude of that place, enjoy just being there with her and being alone in that place. And that is where she is at right now. She's in that solitude and she could not find solace inside of that solitude. But now she's being forced to be in it. And that is why when we see her and she's listening to the Golden Girls and it's thank you for being a friend. Now, I don't know how many friends this lady actually had. I had no idea if she was a popular person. We know she's a popular book writer and she had fans, but fans aren't friends. Right. And it seemed the only one who actually got her or cared about her was this one lady who passed away. Right. So if she was able to find peace with herself, she would be at peace with herself right now. But she can't. That's why she's just laying there and she's drinking and she's just so bored out of her mind. But again, there's a reason why they have solitary confinement in prisons, because it's torture. Man, being alone is torture. Just chilling out there, being by yourself is not a good thing. It is a torturous situation. It is something that nobody wants to do. Humans need human contact, right? So you don't want to just be in that, but you have to, in the end, be able to enjoy your own company. Right, you have to just be able to just chill with yourself, and I don't think that she is able to do that. I think that she can't do it whatsoever. It seems like that she's just beside herself, and she has to drink and drink and drink. You know, like if it was me, I'd be chilling. Like, you know what I mean? I'd be chilling. Tony, you and Phil are the best enjoying PlURIBUS. Thank you so much. I've not spoken to Phil. I don't know where Phil's been at, man. He's been avoiding me. He's been avoiding me. I don't know. I haven't seen Phil, but thank you so much. Let's say thank you for Phil also, and we truly do appreciate that. You know what I mean? Without a shadow of a doubt. So it's just, you know, if it was me and I was alone on the planet and I had access to everything she had access to, shit, I'm seeing everything. Like, I'm going to go to the Great Wall of China. I'm going to go check it out. I'm going to go to the pyramids. I'm checking out the pyramids. I'm going to Bali. I'm going to Caribbean. I'm having fun with this. Like I'm chilling. If it was me, I am out. I am out. I am chilling. I'm just not going to sit there and drink myself to death and lay on the couch and just wallow in misery. Now, I do understand that she is hurt, that her lady friend is out of the picture. I understand, and grieving is a hell of a process. And I will never tell anyone how to grieve or how long to take. But it was me. Now, the guy on the Air Force One, I understand what he is doing. I understand it, but I couldn't be that dude. Right? Hard to say. Hard to say. All right. But when you're in a situation where you can have any woman in the world, any celebrity in the world, if you're a man or a woman, whatever you like, and not only can you have them, but they're all about. Now, I understand. Now, they say they feel everything. They feel everything, all collective, feel all at once. Are they feeling like when you're sleeping with one woman, is everybody feeling that shit? If a woman has an orgasm, is everyone having an orgasm? I don't understand that part. See, I need to know these things. I need to know these rules. How deep does it go? Right? How does it go? Because if shit, the Don Tony Teflon, they be shaking on the floor for a different reason than a seizure. It seems like a seizure. It wouldn't be for me screaming at him, though. Goddamn. There'd be a whole different situation going on there. 100%. Do you want to hold the nuclear football? I would have no reason or want to do that. It just I don't need, me personally, I wouldn't need that type of power. It's it's too much power and stuff like that. Look at people, Australia's on my go to Australia, hit the Amazon. Like I'd be out, you know what I mean? I'd be enjoying it. But in the end, we know what the plan is. The plan is eventually, as they said in this episode, eventually they're looking for a way to take her over. And they're trying to find a way to take her over. And once they do, they're just going to execute it. Right? It's not going to be no smiley face, because we've seen that we're aggressive. They claim, right? This is the big thing. They want to claim to you, and they want to claim all the time that they're happy. And they want you to live your life, and they want you to do what you want to do. But that is not the case that's going on there. They have not shown that. You got to really look at it the way was it really shown that way? Did they really do they really act like, oh, it was just them that just want you to do what they want to do? No, they were forced kissing people, right? When the people who got infected in the beginning, and it was transmitted from the mouth, saliva or whatever it was transmitted, it must have been saliva. All right. It didn't seem like it was airborne. So it must have been something in saliva transforming it, which is weird because I don't understand how something from the saliva could transform your DNA. But that's another situation. But because that was going on, they were forcing mouth to mouth on people. They were just running up on people and kissing them, right? So them saying that they're about this whole situation and everything else, and then in the air they showed the planes. I don't know, it looked like crop dusting lines to me, like they were dropping stuff on there, and that's how it goes. But so they're not. It's not a choice. It's no choice. You're gonna get it regardless. You know what I mean? This is not like you just stay hunkered up in your crib and you're good to go. They're gonna come. They're gonna give it to you. Whatever they want to do, they're gonna hold you down. They're gonna kiss you. They're gonna do whatever. Thank God. This is the only way it's transmitted. It could have been transmitted a different way. I had it rough growing up, man. I'm from a different generation, man. I was raised in the 90s and shit. I was a baby, not in the 90s, but when I was a baby and shit, they took your temperature up your asshole and shit. Whoever thought of that shit? You couldn't think of something better. Well, you know what I mean? They abused us. I was abused, man. Abused by that shit. But you take people's asshole, take temperature of babies' asses. There's got to be a better way. Goddamn. So I would say that people are lucky right now that they could only that what they just kissing people, and that's the way you're getting transmitted. But it seems to be some type of saliva situation does not seem to be an airborne disease that is spreading through there. But it seems to be something that has mutated the DNA into this form. Now, the question is, how was this DNA always dormant inside of human beings and this just opened it up? Or did this special chemical do it? Now, human beings, and they had to know, whoever sent this message, and I am, you know me about aliens. I am about aliens and stuff like that. They still do take temperatures that way. Do they really? God damn, that's terrible. I thought they just do the ear shit. Why they take it that way when they got the ear? Put the shit in your ear and they throw the piece out after it's done and shit. They should just be doing the ear shit. There's no need for that. That's outdated. I ain't going to that doctor. No, that's the doctor I'm trying to avoid. I ain't trying to see his ass at all. Not at all. Like, Mr. Bowles, we need you to bend over. For what? I just had a fever. Yeah, we got to take your temperature. Hey, I'm telling you, I'm hot. You don't need to know how hot, goddammit. I'm good to go. And all that. Yeah, you listen. You can call me at 518-290-0848 is the number to call me if you want to call me. If you want to talk to me and everything else, or you just want to tell me how you feel. Now, where was this message sent from? Now, they claim that it was sent from like 5 million light years away. That's the claim that they picked it up. Now, we don't know if that is the truth. That's the story that was given. It's a likely story. We don't know if this was transmitted from the planet to beam out there to shoot back to make it look like that. All right. We don't know. We can't really fully tell. We can't trust people. We don't know if this is made by some rogue scientists on this planet that started this whole situation. They went through this whole thing of, oh, we're going to transmit it this way. And then all of a sudden, the guy just figures out exactly how to try. Oh, this is what it is. And then it just so happens that a mouse just goes out and just bites somebody. And these creatures aren't supposed to be aggressive, right? Why did the mouse or the rat, whatever it was, why did it bite? The animals are not connected to the hive mind. Why aren't the animals? So we know that the animal had the DNA in it. That's why when they did the bite, it was transferred over, most likely through the blood and saliva of the rat. But why wasn't the rat itself affected by the happiness? Because if the rat was happy, he wouldn't have bit nobody. So the animals can be carriers of this, but they are not affected by this. And if that is the case, and that's what I believe the case to be, from what they have shown me on this show so far, then the cure is within the rat. That's right there. The cure is right there. It's in the animal, because if they have it in them and they cannot be affected by it, then the cure is in the animal population, in that rat or any other test subject they get it in, right? So you'd have to just find out what is not, why that rat is not being affected the same exact way, and then you'd be able to cure this whole thing, right? Quick Mark says, I think the animals are connected. That's why they let them out of the zoo. So listen, what if it was some animals race or something like that did this because they understand how bad human beings are, and this is how they take over the human being? That would be funny. But I do. So what you're saying, you think the animals connect? You thinking that there is an alien form of like animal that is out up there, like a space, like let's say a Planet of the Apes, even though that was in type of alien thing that respect animals and stuff like that. Is that what you're thinking? Because the rat bite is wanted to transmit. Yeah, but the rats, that wasn't the first rat that was infected with it, right? They had a whole bunch of them there. That's the one who actually got a bite off. You know what I mean? That is the one who had the Bible. A nice one like that done. Listen, thank you so much, Edward. You know that someone else from another channel is probably watching it, will make a video on it, get 1 million views and make $1 million. But if it would, that would be, you know, if it was some type of creature, a lizard person from outer space that had more respect for animals than us, than they do human beings, and I could definitely understand that. But the thing that we're seeing, that we do see from this whole situation, is that they are basically colonizers. All right, this is a colonization of this planet. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to colonize the whole planet. All right, that is what it is. They're trying to get you to go over to their so-called religion and live in the lifestyle that they want you to live in, right? That is colonization. And that is exactly what is happening here. Now, whether it's alien colonization or just some rogue scientists on this planet or really rich people on this planet who are doing this for a reason, but we have to figure out exactly what that is. On Phil's after show, someone said there was a line on the GG show that said, "Smile, it's just a frown upside down." Well, it is. "100%. And I agree with that. That this smile will be turned upside down eventually. They have no choice but to go that route. They have to show their true colors, you know, and what they're really after on this planet. Now, if it is an alien life form and they're subduing the whole human race, there would only be one reason that I could think of them doing that. And that is they're after some type of minerals or some type of stuff on this planet. And just attacking the planet and attacking the humans would be some type of situation where it would destroy what they're actually looking for or what they actually need. Maybe they're from a planet, these people, where this is the only planet that has water, liquefied water, right? And they need it. But if they came in and just started blazing people and killing people in this way, it would destroy the planet and destroy the minerals or whatever it is on this planet that they're after. So it has to be, if it's a person from outer space, and that's what they're doing, I believe that they have to be after some type of minerals or some type of something, minerals, water, some type of something on this planet in order for them to do the way they are doing it. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. They would not be able to do it. Now, if they get everybody happy, what is the hive mind? What are they doing? You have to think about it. What is the hive mind? What are they doing? What do they consistently show the hive mind do? What do they consistently show them do? Is anybody? And if you were talking about a frown is a smile upside down, what about the word dessert? What is that backwards? Desserts. Desserts. What S? Desserts. What is that backwards? I'm sure y'all know. Come on. Y'all get it. Y'all get it, right? Desserts is not quite. Not quite. It spells out stressed, right? All right. Desserts is stressed backwards, right? All right. So if you don't want to be stressed, eat a lot of desserts, right? That's right. Desserts is stressed backwards. Not a lot of people know that, right? Maybe this is the first time you ever heard it. But it is. There's a stress backwards, God damn it. Stress. All right. But what do we see here from these people consistently? What do we see them doing? And the thing that we see them doing consistently is they are all working as one. right? They are all working together as one, right? So if it was an alien race who needed to get some type of, of material from this planet, then what better way than to have mass slavery, right? This is what nobody wants to work. Nobody want to do the job themselves. No one wants to mind shit. But if you can mind control these people as they have, and you can get them all to work in coordination, then it would be easier to grab up all the stuff that they need, that they actually want on this planet. That is what I believe is going on in this show. And I swear to you, if you hear any other YouTuber come out and say that they made that shit up, just come to me, let me know, and I will call them out. Because ain't no one say that shit. Ain't no one come up with that. Only the Don. And I could be wrong. But this is what I think it's going to be. It's going to be some type of I don't know whether it's some type of diamond, gold, or something that these aliens, if it's an outside force in our aliens, that they're going to be here. And they're going to want to mine. And they're going to show at one point, you're going to see Carol's going to stumble upon some type of mine, some type of labor force. And this is exactly what it's being used for. This is the reason why this whole thing is going down. And that's what it is. Listen, you're a smart person to agree. You're very smart to agree. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for your boy. You know what I mean? Let YouTube know you're in here and stuff like that, you know, and all that. So let them know that what's going on. And all that. I think I see Phil the Issues guy in the background. He is here. He is here. You see, say his name and he appears. And that is what it is. Again, when we look at anything, let's go through it real quick. Go through it. If you want, I'll go through it. If you want me to make it, to explain it more and make a video about it, I'll make a video about it and everything else. But it is exactly the way it is. And Gerald Oliver and anyone else here, you can call up 518-290-0848 is the number to call up. Call up and you can talk and you can leave a comment and say all that good stuff. Thoughts on reproduction. As for the human race, you know, I don't know. See, this is the weird thing. We don't know how far the feelings go. We don't know if someone gives birth, does everyone feel like they're giving birth? We don't know how far it is. What up, Sonic? We don't know how far it is. PM brought up a dark forest theory. And we got another super chat. Look at this, man. The real rebel Eric. Thank you. We have to admit that they are not very smart to give her a live grenade, thinking that she was going to make her happy. No, there's not a lot of intelligence here. But I think there's not. But what I think they're trying to do is they're trying to placate anyone in any way they can, just so that they don't do something. Because there must be something that people can do that they're just not realizing they can do. And the way they prevent them from going out and figuring this out is this: we're going to give you everything. You want chicks, and all those chicks on the Air Force One had the biggest asses I've ever seen. Listen, shit. It'd be hard for me not to be that dude. He definitely had a type. He had a type. Yeah, and it's my type, goddamn it. But you know, they just placate you, and they just try to keep you happy as long as they can until they can figure out why you are resistant. Now, why is Carol resistant? It's not her anger that made her resistant. We know it's not the alcohol because other people were drinking in the bar and they all got it. So it's not the alcohol. When you trace her steps of what she had, unless it's a certain brand of alcohol, then you would say she's the only one. What did she have to drink right before that whole shit went down? What was she drinking? Does anyone remember what she's drinking? What was the drink that she had right there that she was drinking? Because if everyone just fell out at that particular time, and we seen the lines in the air, then I would have to think that it was some type of crop dusting situation. That's what those lines were, and that's how they were able to get everything. So she was drinking Neary beer, Night Train. Was she drinking Night Train? He's drinking some Ripple and shit. was it Red Fox in there and shit? Yeah, let me get some of that Ripple. Shoot some of that Ripple right there. Ripple is the cure. What's that? Because it can't just be the straight alcohol, right? It can't just be the straight alcohol in it that prevented it from hitting it. If it was going to be something in her drink, it would have to be something specific, that she was drinking. Like if it was a rum or something like that was there that prevented her from getting it. You know what I mean? Something like that and stuff like that. Phil is back here. I don't know what he's doing, but he's back there. I do see him back there. I don't see him, but I see his avatar. I don't even see his avatar. I just see his. I don't want to say I see his box. Phil ain't got it or anything like that. I see where he's supposed to. I don't watch the show, but what's up, everybody? Listen, thank you for being here and supporting it. This a ladies' man? This is a goddamn ladies' man just with a goddamn new name? You gotta do all this abbreviated shit, man. That's the ladies' man right there in the chat right there. LT in the building, rocking with it right there and everything else. What up, man? What's going on, man? How are you? Hope everything is good and stuff. Looking good in your pictures that I seen you post on Facebook and all that good stuff. So what it is, so let's see. I can't stand most alcohols. Mead is good. Oh, really? Really? I'm a beer man myself. I drink beer, but I have the Bartesian machine. So I don't really drink from it. But if I had, somebody over who wanted to drink, I'd be able to make them drinks with the Bartesian and stuff, and all like this stuff. But I'm a beer guy because we have to think. Why didn't she get? And it has to be so. Now we do see certain children. And it could be multiple different reasons why those people aren't affected. It can't be a blood type, because if it was a blood type, then there would be more people, right? So it can't be something to do with her blood. It has to be something else. Because if it was a straight blood type, the whole thing, and that's what it was about, then you would see millions of people that weren't affected. So it's not in her blood. So okay, what's going on, Phil?
Hey, Tony, what's going on? And yes, I definitely agree. If it was just something in her blood, some sort of marker, it would be more than 13 people, or 13 people that we know of. And there's the other side of that too. And I know some people are wondering this, if those 13 people that we've seen so far, minus the Paraguay guy, are faking it of some sort. But I want to go back to something you were asking before, but what they're all doing. It seems like one thing that they're all doing is limiting resources. Like there was something to do with what happened. It was in an episode 3 or episode 2 where they started to shut off the power grid. It seems like they're saving power. They're organizing power in a weird way. They're organizing the whole force, and the whole smile upside down thing. You said this in your video, and Joe said this as well in the live stream. And it's something I didn't think about, but both you guys thought about it. They'll give Carol whatever she wants, a nuclear bomb, a tank. What if Carol says, hey, give me the cure? Like, what are they going to say? Are they going to finally say no? What will make them actually say no? Like if I was Carol, and that's Joe's issue with it, and I think some people, is that she's not acting like angry enough, that she's that she should be like more antagonistic about this and less comical or satirical about it. But I warrant that they're kind of going for half comedy and half reality here, and eventually we'll catch up. But I do think by the end of this season, the smile does turn upside down, and these things start to show that other side, Tony. Once she sort of pushes them to the limit, once she goes to the genie and asks the genie for more wishes after the third wish is up. Like I think there is an end point on that. What do you think? What do you think would happen? Like you were asking in the video, if she asked,
I'm killing everybody. This is what I'd be. I'd be like, listen, you got to give me the cure right now, since you give me everything else. I want the cure. And if you don't give me the cure, I'm going to scream in your face, you're going to give me the cure. And I'll kill all of you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I'll kill all, I'll keep screaming at every motherfucker I see until I'm the only person on this planet. So what's it going to be? It's your choice. You gotta have to choose now. You're either gonna give me the cure or I'm killing everybody. It's one or the other. Something's got to give, right? And so I think that they have no choice but to say no, and then that is when the stuff can go down and stuff. I think that's what has to happen. That's what's going to happen. You can't just have someone say yes, 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 unless you're setting up a huge no.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Especially when, and you were hinting at this a little bit at the beginning. It's a great concept. I'm engaged by the first 3 episodes, but in of itself, if we're just following one singular character, I don't care if it's Marlon Brando on screen. Like you can't just have it be one person in one focus. This thing needs to, and I trust Vince to see where it develops. But at this point, we're sort of focused is so narrow that, I mean, I bet the guy from Paraguay ends up becoming a main character, but we need to maybe follow some other people. It needs to go in a couple of different directions to kind of have some longevity. Because right now it more comes off like an extended episode of Black Mirror or Twilight Zone or something like that, where if this is going to turn into a series, the character's great, but when does the plot start to start? When do we start getting into what this is going to be about, what the narrative, what her choices are, Tony, like what she's going to do to solve this?
Yeah, this is the problem when you have shows like this that are focused on one singular character, right? And there's not a lot of shows who do that, right?
Last Man on Earth, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, there's really not a lot, but we know that person can't die, right? So it takes away a lot of and there's nothing that can happen that's going to happen. Like, I have no fear for Carol in this show whatsoever. Zero. I don't have any. I don't think anything bad's gonna happen to her. I don't care if they grabbed her up and chained her. She's the only one. She's the only character.
Tony, do you know what Vince Gilligan said? He goes, they asked him how many seasons he wants to do this show. He goes, until Ray doesn't want to do it anymore.
Oh, Jesus. Ray better keep working.
Right. So, but then he said 3 seasons, 3 or 4 seasons. He has an idea for.
Yeah, Ray better want to keep working. God damn it, she got to keep her name out there and everything. So I would like if it was me, I'm not them, and obviously I would have shift focus to somebody else at least for one episode, and see what's going on over there or something. You want to say the guy in Paraguay or whatever. Just to shift focus. Like, I would have had, even though it's her show, I would have had other characters have a little bit more to do, so that way they could be some type of angst on her.
Yeah.
Like, so Better Call Saul. It's called Better Call Saul. So we're thinking, all right. So we know Saul is in this thing, and he's not gonna die. Even though Breaking Bad, anyone can get got. It seemed like in that show, but we knew eventually the downfall was coming, and it was just how it was going to come and how long he was going to get away with stuff and everything else. But you knew it eventually had to happen. But that was a show where he was basically the villain of his show. It's like he's I would say Better Call Saul is a Tony Soprano. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, in a way, for sure. And I mean,
he was a scumbag. I mean, he was kind of
Jimmy's kind of a scumbag, but then you had Chuck, who was even a bigger asshole, and then you had Nacho, who was an interesting character that you could kind of know and follow and worry about his weight and everything to do with the Salamanca family. You knew things were coming. Tony, I think at one point, maybe the thing with that element of it is that you said it, and they said it in episode 3. They said it even earlier than that too. It might have been in episode 2, which was one of the more interesting parts when we follow the pirate lady, like seeing her get on the plane and fly through. When she meets with her, she directly says to her, yeah, we're working on it right now. We should have the cure for you in a couple of weeks. Like they immediately told her. So if we know this is a ticking time clock, that eventually she's going to be turned to become a pod person. But I wonder if she ever is this just like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator, where they just don't like the looks of the way she's set up? And the other thing, 13 people that we know of. There's got to be more people, right? There's got to be some people that are in the woods, survivalists or something that haven't been around,
Yeah,
right?
listen, there's tribes.
Yeah, right. Come on, there's
tribes of people who are off the grid.
Yeah, there's got to be more than 13. Come on.
That may have realized what's going on, you know what I mean? Maybe gotten away with it and stuff. So yeah, it could quite possibly be. But as you said, how long can we go with the Carol situation without them bringing more people into it and making it interesting? Because you can keep bringing people into her life, you know what I mean, and then whacking them. You know, as I said, and I can only go by his old work, like, right? But his old work was always more, even though, and I'm going to go to Better Call Saul more than Breaking Bad, because Better Call Saul was a more focused on two people. It was on Saul and his woman. They
And
brought it, huh?
I said, and Mike, maybe, like, through the three of them.
I would say, all right, but yeah, I would give it. But there was danger, even if it wasn't him directly. There was always danger that Rhea Seehorn could get whacked. We know Saul probably wasn't here, but she could have got whacked. And there's danger around the people around him that they can get whacked, right? So we don't have that if it's just her. If this is Castaway, you know, when are we going to see the ball drift off into the water?
We need a Wilson. You're saying we need a Wilson.
We need a Wilson. We need a Wilson. We need a Wilson in this show.
With her, it's a bottle of vodka. Vodka is her Wilson. When booze starts running out.
We need that. And I don't know if the pirate lady is that. Like, maybe that's what this is gonna become. You know, because it's two ways. How do you look at the look back that she gave her? Do you look at it as it was meditated, like they planned her because they knew that she would feel bad and she'd go out there and stop the plane? Or do you look at it as she had a spark of individuality?
I don't think she had a spark of individuality. I think it's more the first thing. I think it's they knew that would make Carol feel heroic. And from her books and from understanding who she was, they knew, or they calculated in that moment, that she would have needed to feel something to kind of let I know her name's not Zoya, pirate, whatever, Z woman, to let her in. And that's how they're going to get her and placate her and make her happy, by making her feel like she's protecting this person or this thing. And that's why they had her look like her character. That's why they indulge in it. That's why we saw to go with you with the colors, with the purple, that also influenced her character from her book, with what she was looking at with the Aurora Borealis. There was something connected back to episode 1. I was reading something about that as well. So Tony's absolutely right and on this thing from the beginning with the colors. And you talked a little bit about this, but I want to get into this a little bit. The timestamps and the numbers. Do you think that has any relevance to any overall plot? Because something's growing around us. And what I mean by that is some sort of plot, some sort of something is going to bite us in the ass eventually. And do you think the numbers have anything to do with it? Like, are they showing us stuff out of sequential order? Because I don't know. I'm just curious your take on that.
I mean, if it's counting up now, they keep showing the timestamps counting up. And I think it's counting up right now to when they find a method of controlling her. All right. So it's going to count up, and then what's going to stop whenever they find that to get her over, that's when the timestamp will stop. And then obviously it's not going to get her or anything like that. And then they'll start rolling again. Yeah. But I think that's what it's rolling up to. Like, this is how long they got until they figured out something to bring everybody in.
Like, it's a ticking time clock. Eventually they will figure out how to switch her over. And you, in her position, knowing that in that moment, you gotta kill it. You're, to your point, and Joe was talking about this too in our after stream, you just gotta start screaming and killing people, right? I mean, at this point, like, take them all down.
I'd be like Banshee, Havoc, whatever you want to call, any superhero you want to call. I would be screaming at him. But there is something though. We did see her get into a fight with the dude from Paraguay or whatever, and they didn't get affected. So we know that it has to be directed towards them.
Right. And she's also yelled at people over the phone in distance and stuff like that. So we know it has to be direct one-on-one too, I believe, because she's been yelling at them like I yell at Alexa on the phone, like, shut the fuck up, and that doesn't seem to affect them. It's just when she's in direct one-on-one contact. Speaking of Paraguay guy, I think there's no possibility that, and I don't have any spoilers or anything, there's no possibility that he's not showing up at her door either the next episode or the episode after that. Like, he's gonna be like, whoa, someone cursed me out. Like, it's gonna be like he's been yelling at these people, and probably just as bad as Carol, and blocking them out and stuff. And I wouldn't be surprised if some point in this next episode we touch into do exactly what you're kind of hoping for, a perspective where we go from his perspective to find Carol and see everything he's going through, and open him up as another character, because it seems like we need at least one person, maybe if not a Wilson, we need at least another character for him to interact with that has a danger of something happening to him or her.
Yeah, we need to have someone who something bad can happen. We have, and the only way that happens is if we start to care for that character, right? Mm-hmm. So it has to be a character that we have grown and at some point to have some type of feelings for. Now, I'm not saying you have to love the person, but you have to have something there for that person in order for it to 100%. Affect you with them getting passed away. Because at the position that we're at right now, we can clearly see that ain't nothing happened. It's her show, so we know nothing bad can happen to her. So that's out the way. She pulled the grenade. Did anyone think she was getting blown up? I knew she wasn't getting blown up. There's no way she's gonna get blown up, right? Only thing I could have seen is maybe it was a fake, but she threw it outside. It did that, and it made the pirate lady go into seizures or whatever she was going to. Oh, help is coming, Carol. They're coming. And do all that.
Thank you for blowing me up, Carol. I appreciate it.
They are treading, and Vince Gilligan is treading a very fine line here. Very fine line of comedy to drama to where it can get hokey. Right?
Yeah, and there's certain people that it's already not working for that reason, because they're going, okay, if this is a reality, Carol should be acting different even after 4 days. But then it's a dark comedy, so they're playing into it. To your point, you were kind of hinting at this a little bit earlier. There's only so many times we can go to the supermarket and see all the hive mind stuff that happened where you're just like, would she really be doing this if you were in that situation after 4 days? No, you'd be stockpiling weapons and hiding in a bunker and doing all this stuff. You'd be freaking out. You'd be losing this. But they're playing it as a dark comedy too. So to your point, he's juggling a lot of balls right now of theme and what kind of show this is. And I'm curious how it's going to play out when that impending moment's going to happen, Tony, that's really going to set what this world is. Because right now, to me, again, and I think it's awesome, but it plays more like a Twilight Zone sketch, like an extended Twilight Zone Black Mirror kind of thing. And that's cool, but that's what it feels like to me, like we're in an extended Black Mirror thing.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. You're right there. And what up, 3 comments? What up? Thanks for rocking. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for you boys. We rocking up in here. Again, if you want to call 518-290-0848, you can. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear from you. Just give us a call. It ain't hard. Don't be shy.
People are shy, Tony. Tony, we have I don't know if you subscribe to the voicemail hotline for this show where they send you texts and stuff. The most recent one sent us this little audio clip. Let's see what it says.
Hi, Carol. We had so much fun reading Blood Song of Waikaro. All those twists and turns. This passage in particular grabbed us. From within the flickering shadows, the voice of Madame Asclepius' patient echoed softly. I had a quote like this once. Recognition dawned in Lucasia's eyes.
It's fucked up. I don't want to play too much of this, so definitely call the hotline and stuff. But it's there's got to be clues to all this stuff that they're sending us, Tony. There's something in it all, right? Like I
would think so, but I will also say that her writing isn't that good.
Is that the point? Is that the point? Is it sort of like a little
I think it's because her writing's not good. I'm not sure. It's just not that good. It's not good at all. And I mean, I think when they're reading back the passages and everything else, and I understand it's different. Like it's a romance novel. I think she's like, more of like, I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah, is it like a YM thing too? Maybe and yeah, and also is it like an in-universe thing? Like there's Vincent Chase was never good in any of his movies. Is she just not a good writer because it's like, a writer on a show or something like that,
You got Fabio on the fucking cover here. You know what I mean? That's who she's writing for and everything. Thank you, the real rebel Eric, for the super chat. They will turn the control level to 6 on a random character. Carol will think he or she is immune like her, but it will be more placation. I like that idea. What do you think about they have someone they bring to it, they say that it's not like them, and somehow that person is able to act regular? How do you feel about that, Phil?
It would be an interesting thing. I was wondering about that when we met the 12, if those 12 people were just fakes as well, but I'm not sure about that. That's the biggest question. Is this AI or this disease, whatever you want to call it, this biological thing, is it learning? Is it stupid? It should be smarter than that, right? If it has everyone's consciousness, it should have some of the plotting and manipulative people in the world and be able to do something like that, like a manipulation like that. But right now, it seems like it's too much in its infancy of childhood. And are we to believe what it's saying right now? I can't hurt people. Does that mean it can't mentally manipulate Carol either? Like that's, I'm asking. I'm not saying like I don't know. Like if it can't hurt her, can it knowing that she doesn't want to be turned, can it really actually work on a cure for her? Like it's no, because, or is it all bullshit? Is this all just the fake smile and they're really trying to cut her throat? So if it's the second thing, if it's their fake smile and they're trying to cut her throat, absolutely. I think there will be a mole. I think there already has been. If to Tony's point, I think they're simulating that with her character, with the look in the eyes and all of that to try to elicit human empathy. There's a line in a Deep Space Nine episode, Tony, with these characters, these Jem'Hadar creatures that are bred to just be war-like creatures. Like they don't know anything. They can't even understand. Like they can't even understand what empathy is. And they kidnap a doctor to like replicate a drug that they need to take. And they're like, we know at Starfleet, you're trained to have empathy. Like they just don't understand it so much that they think empathy is something that you're trained at school to get. And I think maybe these things have to train themselves certain human emotions, and it'll take time for them to do something like this. Anyways, what do you think? Do you think that they will actually manipulate her in this way, Tony, and use the guys to put a mask on? Can they do that? Can they hurt her like that?
It all depends how far this goes and what they're. So we have to develop. I think he needs to develop a strict code of what they can and what they can't do, right? And I think that's what he's trying to do. But in the end, when it's all said and done, this does not maintain a series. Everyone's saying, "Hi, Carol. How are you doing, Carol? I'd like to get this, Carol. Where you are, Carol? How do you get, Carol?" There's only so long you can.
Yeah, the joke runs out after a while.
Yeah, it's only so long. So you got to develop that, and then you're going to have to push away from it. And then when you push away, it has to be a hard push. And obviously, I like this. If it's smiling, it has to be something sinister about the whole situation. Now, as for the AI generator, I think people, in my estimation, maybe I'm wrong in this, but I think people like believe like AI is more intelligent than humans. I don't believe that. AI can only be as smart as the people who created it. I think the difference is that AI can do problems and figure things out faster because it has more times to keep going over and over and over and over and over until it gets to the right answer. The human being would get to that answer, but it would just take much longer.
Yeah, it would take too much time, too much
effort.
We
just don't get to it. So I don't think AI is smarter than humans. I think it's the same as the person who created it. It's just able to get to certain things faster than that person because it has this time just to keep going over and over and over it, right? So when it's all said and done, I think that it's if I gave the theory if it is aliens or AI. I think the theory works both ways. It could be both. It could be an alien using AI to get them. It does seem a lot that it is some type of AI situation more than straight extraterrestrial being.
Yeah,
That's
and Vince has been very coy with people when people have asked him that question about that. He's like, it could be either, it could be or. I'm not locked into it like I was locked into Breaking Bad. It's flowing. We're figuring it out. So I think they're still figuring out what the hell it is as well in developing it. So I do think it's inspired by that, inspired by the pandemic situation as well. Like it's inspired by this book, by this movie. It's a lot of thoughts, a lot of things coming together. But I do think there is some AI element of that. And as for whether AI is smarter than us and doing all this stuff, it's efficient for certain tasks. If you've ever messed with it, it's pretty damn stupid. And I think that's what they're getting across pretty well in this show, the inaneness of it. South Park did an episode on it as well that gets across the inaneness of communicating with it at times and trying to like get it to do something you want. I mean, is it good to sort of say, hey, aggregate all the tags for this particular thing right here all into a list so I don't have to write it? Yes. But if you're like, hey, talk, like it's a simple task. But if you're like, hey, design this perfect way of me to talk, and like, no, you can't. It sounds like a moron. If you're like, it hands Carol a hand grenade, it's stupid.
And the number one thing I would say about AI, and I just I got a new phone. I switched over to the Google Pixel, so and then from the Samsung, I'm a Samsung guy. I had that for 15 years. But now I'm on a Pixel, and I've been using the Gemini AI, right? And you can talk to this thing like it's a regular person.
Oh, yeah, you put that microphone thing, and you can just
and it answers you back and everything else. But the thing that I realized that it does is it never goes against what you're saying. It always is on your side.
That's a great point, Tony. And I want to tell you, that's a great thing. You're really awesome.
Always like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like working out today. Well, if you don't really feel like it, you don't have to. But I would say that, you may feel better if you just started. It's always happy like that, like the way these people are acting. And that's what makes me think it's more likely an AI than an alien being situation.
Yeah. New Alexa's like that too. I don't know if anyone's updated their Alexa to Alexa 2.0. It gets a little bit sassier with you. You can call it names. It'll curse now and say fuck yeah, or something back to you. But it's still simulated. And one of the things I do for like a part-time gig, it's interesting, and people can like hate me, and I'm gonna get trolled for this, but it's money's tough. You got to do what you got to do. Is you go into a chat room with like 5 other people, Tony, and there's like a topic, and you talk for 15 minutes about let's talk about PlURIBUS for 15 minutes, and they're recording your conversation, they're analyzing it, try to get the AI to sound real, and they encourage you to disagree and get into like debates and go back and forth, because that's one of the problems that they're having with it, that it's too agreeable, it's too hollow, and I think that is definitely coming through with this. My question in the series is this a tactic that they're calculating is the best use for these 13 people, or is this they're in the infancy of something that's growing, and the consciousness is growing, so eventually they'll calculate? Because I was saying this the other night, or since the first night, wouldn't the smartest thing, I know they can't kill, but wouldn't statistically the smartest thing just to be to kill the 13 people? Like, you're done with it. Kill the 13 people. You're done.
Bargain, right? So there's a difference between colonization and assimilation, right? It sounds the same. Beef and Bernie is in the building. Bernie, get married. She got a different last name. I don't know. She got married. If she did, congratulations, Bernie. So it's a difference between colonization and now I forgot the words. Fucking Beef and Bernie came in here, fucked my whole set. Assimilation. Right? There's a difference between it. They are colonizers.
Seems
right?
like it. Yeah.
That's what they're going for. They're trying to make you a colonizer will come to your place. They won't kill all you, but they'll get you to switch to their religion, get you to switch to their ways, and do their way of life. right? That's what when you assimilate, you go somewhere else and you become that person, and then you just act the way that person goes and everything else like that, and then you have assimilated to being in with those people and everything else and all that good stuff. So they're colonizers. They're not trying to now the Borg assimilate somebody. They change you to a Borg. You become a part of what they are.
Yeah,
They take you and make you one of
they
them.
add their distinction to you.
Yeah.
There's another line in Star Trek that something that you just said is very, very cool, and it's echoed on another episode of Deep Space Nine, where this character, I'll be quick about it, Weyoun and this character Dukat are talking, and Weyoun's like, you know what we got to do to beat the Federation? We got to destroy Earth, murder everybody. We murder everyone on Earth. That will solve our problem. And Dukat's like, no, that's not how you beat somebody. Weyoun, you have to dominate them so much that they give in to your greatness. And I think there's an element of that in this where that goes to that assimilation versus colonization thing, that they can't just kill them. They need to bring them over. Like, these 12 people need to be brought in. That they're compelled. They have it gets said in the last episode. They have, and I think it's an important line, Tony. They have a biological imperative to make this happen. So they have to keep doing it. They can't help themselves but to please Carol, or to please these 13 people.
Or just do it until they figure out the cure, and then they bang them up. And
does everyone have that ability that Carol has, Tony? We haven't seen them use it yet, but could any of them yell at them and kill them all?
I don't know, but we do know that they told the other people.
They totally did. Yep, they totally told them.
They told them what happened, why it happened, and who did it.
Yep.
Because she knew you killed my grandfather. You killed him. It was you. They dropped dime quick on her ass.
Uh-huh.
They dropped dime on her. Like, what happened? Well, this lady named Carol screamed at us.
So can no one else do that? Can Paraguay guy do that too? Has he been dropping people down?
Well, he was quick to curse, right? So you would think that would be happening because he was quick to curse at her right off the bat. So you can see he has some type of attitude and everything. You know what I mean? So you would think that he would have had to drop some people too. But would she? Let's think about it. In the show, did we just walk outside and she not do anything to anyone, and then people just in the seizure position?
Yes, because initially, and they talk about this a little bit, like Zoya, whatever her name is, Pirate Lady, says that they were doing it slowly at first with no problems until the military found out, and then they had to speed up the process. And as you were saying, probably doing the airdrop. When they did that and they started to spread it quicker, that's when they lost, what was it, like 800 million people or something like that. It was some ridiculous number of like 12% of the population or so of the world or something. They lost, died in those convulsions. But as we found out through Helen, everyone's consciousness essentially joined before they died. So they got a little download of everyone probably almost every one of those 800 million people plus 800 plus million that died downloaded their consciousness into this thing before they died or joined it, except for these 13 people.
Yeah. So it must be that once it is inside of you, regardless, as soon as you die, if you die at that time, because she just dropped and did she didn't drop and die because of what Carol did.
No,
because if she did, they would have threw that in her face, right?
Yep.
So she dropped and died. So someone must have yelled at that particular time and killed. So Carol needs to ask the question that apparently the other people asked when their grandfather died. How did my grandfather die and why? And Carol needs to know, she died because Paraguay guy screamed at us.
Maybe that's what happened.
And now she goes to look for Paraguay guy to kill him for killing her girl.
To your point about the AI thing, that is an interesting side note. when you're talking to this stuff, you can get what you want out of it, but you have to ask the right questions. It's not going to offer up information. If you're saying, how can I do X, Y, and Z? They're like, oh, why didn't you ask about X, Y, and Z? We're sorry about that, Carol. So Carol needs to ask the right questions. Right now, a lot of it is just frustration, and she's trolling the thing. Like,
she's frumming it right now. You're saying it. She's frumming it.
Yeah.
She's frumming it. Right? She's acting like everybody in From. They're not asking the fucking right
not
questions.
asking the right questions, not talking. But she, in fairness, though, she did try to sit everyone down and have a conversation and get on the same page. But this is the other thing, right? Every single one of those other people that we've met so far, of the English speaking people, they all had a family member that was turned, that was their chaperone hanging out. So they still had someone. Carol, did you think that was realistic, that Carol was the only one of those people that had a problem with all of this?
No, it's not. It's not real. It's not realistic whatsoever. You would think, and I understand they tried to give. Now the guy with the women, I can understand that.
Yeah, that dude, you know, like I wouldn't be him either. I couldn't do that shit either. But you can understand the person like that.
I understand it. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it.
A little bit.
I'm not saying
Jessica Alba would be coming to my house.
All right, you're gonna bring Gayle King, Cardi B, Beyonce, Scarlett Johansson,
Halle Berry.
I want them all here and right now, and I want them to tell me that they love me so much.
We love you, Tony.
You'd have to do it at least, but as a man, as me, Tony Teflon and Don, I want someone to actually care about me and not be forced into it. Because that's just it basically, the people who will be willing to do it are also the people who will be willing to go to prostitutes. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with prostitution. And I'm saying people who like prostitution, I always tell people straight up, if there's two grown adults and someone says, I'll give you XYZ if you do this, and the other person agrees, got nothing to do with me. Let those adults do their business. But it's people who go to that are more likely to be like this guy, because you don't need that love and that affection. You just want the thrill of that moment. And that's what he's going for.
It would get boring. In reality, it would get boring real quick. Like, yes, would I have Michelle Pfeiffer and Marissa Tomei show up to say, hi, sir? Like, I love you. I love you, Phil. Yes, I might, but that's beside the point. You know?
Oh, my God, it would just be a nutty situation.
I mean, like, I'm not saying I wouldn't be tempted, but in reality, it's the same way, Tony. I'd be so lonely after a while, and like, and I'd be more akin to Carol. I'd be frustrated by it and be really, really annoyed. All jokes aside,
Carol's in love, though. That's the whole thing. Carol loves someone. This guy obviously didn't love. No, he ain't loving no.
No.
I'd be in Air Force One all day. Like I'd be living in the most luxurious pad you could ever live on.
I'd have like that, but it'd be Princess, so it'd be all pink. You know, I'd be like, can I get Princess jet? You know, be flying around. And
it would be amazing. Like I'd be in the most luxurious place you could be in. All right. You could do anything and anything, go anywhere. So I'd be traveling and just seeing everything I could actually see. And that is just what it'd be like Air Force One.
Oh, super fucking creepy.
Well, no doubt. Bananas T, thank you for the super chat. He's like, Phil, you are a freaking liar.
Which part? Which part that I would get Marissa Tomei and Michelle Pfeiffer? You're right. I would have Tiffany Amber Thiessen there too, and there's a few other people I would throw.
Would have to come. She would have to come.
There'd be a party. It would be a party for sure.
She would have to be there. It would just be. I would just say straight up. I'd be like, listen. You're gonna bring me all the biggest booty women in the world to this condo, and you're gonna bring them here.
You know what? They're already on their way, Tony. They're in trucks on the highway.
Yeah. I want them lined up until my dick falls off. I wouldn't be that bad. I wouldn't be that. But I understand it, and it's and showing a person do that is a realistic thing. And that is what they're trying to show, that humans are so surface level. At the core, most humans are very surface level, and they're not looking at the big picture. Yes, you're getting pleased for the moment, and you're doing all that, but in the end, you're going to join them. You're going to go in everything else. You know what I mean? That's just what it would be. Bernie, you'd be on the list. You'd be on that. Look, Bernie, I'll have you on Air Force One. You better watch yourself, girl.
Fernandez T. I would have. We talked about this the other night. I would have the trucks from all the dispensaries dumping out in my front yard.
I'd have them carry me like I was surfing through a concert through the whole of it.
Tony, if you knew it's inevitable, like you're in this situation, there's a couple of elements of this, of how we would handle this. Like if you knew they're like, listen, we're working on this cure to turn you one way or another, but in the next couple of months, we're turning you. You might as well have fun with it, or are you spending this whole time losing your shit trying to figure out a cure, trying to figure out a way to kill all these motherfuckers? Like that's where we get into this. Do we look at this like a reality, or do we look at this like a dark comedy? It's interesting because in the reality, how would people be handling this situation? Would you be feeding into that, just saying, fuck it, they're gonna turn me eventually, I might as well go sit in the middle of Caesar's palace with
yes,
with a giant blunt and Brad Pitt on one hand and Scarlett Johansson on the other hand, whatever your deal is.
You'd have to Hugh Hefner it. You'd have to be in the bathrobe and you'd have to walk around. But the whole thing is that you're doing it for yourself.
Right, exactly. I'd be in Batman onesie all day.
Yeah, when Hugh Hefner did it, right? And he walked around with all the women on his arm in the bathrobe. He didn't do it for him. He did it for everyone who's seen him. All right? That's the reason why I do it. People who wear expensive clothes and girls who have expensive handbags, they don't get it for themselves. They get it for everyone else who sees it so that they know that they got it like that. Mm-hmm. But all that goes away when there's no one who knows, because they all agree with you. So they already know you got it like that, right? So you don't get that same gratification that you would normally get in a society of people who are free-willed and everything else, and they see it, right? So that's what it would come down to. It would just eventually, it would be boring.
Yeah, it would be. Like no matter what,
it's gonna get boring.
No matter how much you think. And Fernandez, see, that's why we're not lying. We're just being honest about playing that situation out to its fullest. Do you take advantage of it? If you had a genie with endless wishes, eventually it might get boring.
You know that about it. Listen, Jennifer Lopez has been cheated on by every husband she's ever been with. Why is that? Because the shit got boring. Now, to me, you, Phil, everyone else in the chat, you say, how could you get bored with that? Brad Pitt was cheated on, right? And to the ladies or men in the chat, yeah, I was like, I never cheat on Brad Pitt. How could that ever happen? Because you would. Because eventually you get bored. It doesn't matter who it is. Once you've done it, and the first time is a great time. Maybe the second and third. But when you've done it for a year, and you've seen them for a year, and you smelt their shit in your house, everything else, all that other stuff, it goes out the window. Yep, when you realize that human beings like you and they're the same, all that other stuff goes out the window, man. It's a done deal. No matter how you want to think of it. And you can say, oh, Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce. How could he ever do that? Easily. Because he's had sex with her 1,000 times. And once you do it as many times as you've done it, and it's just another chick. And that's just what it is. And that's just the way it goes. It doesn't matter who it is, or how many times, or who it is. But once you read it and done it, it doesn't matter. It's that person it's not the same as what it was. It'll never be the same. There's a lot of divorces happen because of that. You know what I mean? And that's just the way, that's just life. That's why you have to find something about people that you like or love about them more than that. You have to love the individual of hanging around that person and chilling with that person. That person's your best friend when you just want to do everything with them. And if you can't get that, and you just have this sexual attraction and things like that, it goes sideways in the end. And that's just the way it is. Fernandez T said men are the real whores. I don't think anyone's ever denied it. Yeah. I don't think anyone's ever denied
And
that.
water is wet. But,
Yeah.
but Carol, in this situation, it's going to be interesting to see when, I mean, when she breaks, Tony, because at this point she's still, in my mind, in a sense of shock and awe, trying to go back to her normal life, go to the supermarket, say she wants to live her normal life and all that sort of shit. It's very naive. There's got to be a point where she either feeds into this world or has a mental break of some kind and loses her shit. And what is going to happen when her and Paraguay guy meet and somebody's actually on her page of fuck all these motherfuckers, we gotta do something? And what are the two of them going to be able to accomplish in there? And I think if we're thinking about what's going to happen and try to speculate further down the road of this season, I think it goes on that. It's got to be when this guy connects with her and the two of them need to try to bring this down a little bit and decide to use and extend this question. Is Carol the only one with his ability? Is she like Nancy against Freddy and she can grab Freddy, or Alice or whatever, and they had these abilities against Freddy and they're the only ones that can do these things against, like, is she the only one? And each one of these 12 have a different ability against them. One of them can sort of control them, like get into their mind and get them to do what they want. Or so, I'm just making shit up, but this is sci-fi, and I feel like that's the kind of thing we're in for here. If Carol can kill them with a thought, going all like Cartman at the end of the South Park movie when he's got that chip in and it's zapping people, and motherfucking like she's
That's like Scanners. That's a movie, Scanners.
Scanners, yeah, totally, like Scanners. And that's what South Park was doing. I forgot. Yeah, they're doing the Scanners thing. So it's totally like the Scanners thing. And can other people harness that ability? Does Carol have the ability to extend that to other people and have some empathy with and I'm all over the place, but something just popped in my mind. You asked earlier about if you have sex with one of these things, are they having sex with everybody? We did have somewhat of an answer of that with drugs or with alcohol, because she asks if you're getting drunk, as the whole collective getting drunk, and she said no. So there's probably some individuality with what you're doing to the individual body and getting inebriated or maybe receiving pleasure. Maybe you can get a download of what the sexual experience was like, but it's probably just within that single entity, I would guess. And that leads to another question about procreation, Tony. Do you think these things are on a procreation schedule, or are they stopping the production of humans at this point?
I think it's, in the end, it's they want some type of material from the planet, and
harvesting some sort of energy,
and they're just going to use everyone for slave labor to get it, and that's why they're doing it. I think that's the way it's going down when it's all said and done. That there's someone, because the hive mind, there is a head of the hive, right? There's always a queen bee in the hive, right?
Usually, sure.
So who is the queen bee of this hive? And I think that when you deal with the hive, the head person of this, the head person, there is a mineral, or there is it's the water or something on this planet that they want, and they did not want to come here and fight everyone, because it would destroy that mineral. So they have to get everyone on board first, and then that way they can use them as a slave mining force and mine whatever this mineral is and stuff.
I think you might be onto something, or use it to build some sort of relay or something like that. I think you might be onto something there, Tony. The other thing that just popped in my head, and I don't have any facts to back it up, but maybe I have to work it out a little bit, because I do believe, and I've been asking, there is some collective, some group consciousness that don't necessarily have a queen. If we looked at like the Great Link or something like that, but usually there is a queen, especially with the Borg situation. What if, in some warped, weird way, Carol is the queen? She has control over all of them. She just doesn't realize it yet. I don't have it worked out yet, but that popped in my head with something you said, and I gotta work this out a little bit. I don't think it's really the case, but what if somehow she's been uploaded with this virus thing? Like the immune people are actually the commanders of some sort, or her specifically. The reason why she can kill all these people because she does have the queen power. She just doesn't know it yet. And as the series discovers, we're going to discover that Carol's actually part of the collective. She's just a higher species of it. Anyways, I know that's a lot of bullshit. I don't have any facts. I'm bringing this out.
It's not bullshit at all. It definitely could be something going on with that. And I know some of y'all people may have left us to go watch Dairy, and I did cover Dairy. Now the people ask me why I have stopped covering Dairy. And it's two reasons. Number one, my job is very demanding on me. But besides that, and we'll go right back to PlURIBUS. I just want to say this real quick because I know people have asked me this in the comment section. I just want to put it out there in case they are here watching. There is a thin line between horror and corny to me, right? If you're trying to be a horror show, it's very thin for me, right? And when you have multiple babies busting out of women's vaginas, like that's not scary to me. That makes me laugh, and it becomes a comedy to me. And I don't know that if that's what they're actually going for, but there's nothing scary about it to me. So that is the problem with me and Derek and everything else. It's like I'm on that line where I just don't think it's scary. And I want it to be, but I just start laughing at the show, and everything makes me laugh, you know. And it's just I just laugh about it. That's just I laugh about a lot of things, but it just makes me laugh right now. They haven't done anything to make me feel any other way. I'm still watching it, so we'll see. All right, now back to this show. No, if she was the ultimate, that would explain why she wasn't affected, because she is really already in the collective.
And she has to be tapped into them mentally or something to be able to kill them like that in a way that no one else can, unless everybody that's anyone that's one of the immune can do that, but we haven't seen that yet. I can't believe that none of these 12 or 13 people, I keep saying 12 other people have gotten angry at one of these things yet and screamed at it and caused anything.
Did, because that's how her girlfriend died.
Exactly, or all of them died. See, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if her girlfriend died in the initial infection that a certain percentage died, or she died because Paraguay guy freaked out on one of them. We haven't figured that out yet. But because of the timestamp thing, we'll probably go back and see that maybe at a different point in time, Tony. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see that.
We haven't seen the infection kill anybody.
No.
From what they've shown, when the infection was being transmitted through saliva, whether it's licking of donuts or kisses, nobody died from it, right? So the infection that we've seen, there's no one got kissed, dropped on the floor, and died. Everybody was cool with it. So what would be the difference? The only reason it could be that someone died is that someone flipped out on one of them, not knowing and whatever, and it killed them. Because they would have had to show that, right? If you're going to say that the infection actually killed certain people from it, just from being infected by it, then you would have had to show that in the initial run of it. Like someone licking the donut, someone eating the donut, someone dying, and then the next person eating the same donut and living. And then you would have seen that, you know what I mean? So it would not be like that. What, Tony is a police officer.
They actually made
Yeah, I've been called a lot of things in my life. A lot.
Let me hide my weed. Oh my goodness.
A lot. For that police officer, I've never in my life. Thank you so much for calling me that. I really appreciate it. Call me a lawyer, a doctor next or something. I've never been called that. Never been called
They
that.
specifically actually say at one point, I mentioned this earlier too, but they said in the first month that they were doing this slowly with the kissing and the licking of the donuts and that there were no deaths, that they were able to do it and convert people with 0 casualties. It was only, again, we haven't seen this. I wonder if we'll see it in a flashback. Somehow the military found out what was going on and they had to amp it up. And within the amping up, that caused people to die, possibly because of certain people changing and then some people not seeing, like the panic of it all killed all the people because people were either driving or doing something when they turned and had that moment where they went blah, and then woke up in virus form or whatever. I hope they get more into that. I hope they get into if Carol is the only one with the scanner's ability or Paraguay guy has it too, which I assume we'll find out next episode when we meet him.
Yeah,
if we meet him.
Pixie says, "Where is this other chat app?" I don't understand that question.
There's 2 stream. The way it's broadcasting now, it has you broadcasting on the shorts in the vertical way, and then broadcasting, we see the one chat here in the right, but there's actually 2 chat rooms.
Oh, it's 2 different chat rooms. Someone's on the short. So if you're on the shorts chat, you're not on the regular stream.
Yeah, it's like 2. It's considered 2 different events, I guess.
Oh, all right. Is that what they're doing? All right, I got you.
Yeah, it would be like if I was simul streaming right now too. It's like the total audience and that kind of shit.
Jesus, right? Stream not going too far.
Yeah, that's a bit. That one's a bit too much. They're
going a little too far. But listen, I guess if you're gonna get your short views, you're gonna get your regular views. I guess it is what it is. I'm sorry about that. I see the one chat, so I don't know about the breakup of who's watching that and everything else. But yeah, we are here talking about PlURIBUS, not just this episode 3, but the whole season in a whole, and all of our thoughts on this whole series and everything else, where we think it's going. But again, you can call in 518-290-0848 is the number. I've said this fucking number since we started over an hour and a half, and none of y'all have the balls to call. 518-290-0849. We ain't gonna hurt you. And Bernie, I know you're in the 518 area, so you should be able to do it. You know what I mean? So there's no excuse. We should be able to hear people's voices and stuff like that.
I think Carol killed her girlfriend because she didn't accept help. Possibly, like that. I didn't even think about it like that until Tony and you said that, Fernandez. Like that in the moment, people's reaction caused that situation. You know, that she might have even added to that.
Yeah, maybe. But don't you think they would tell her that eventually? She has to get that. They have to say You got to ask these questions. You know,
that's the thing, Tony. She has to ask the right question. Was I the cause of this? Like, because that even the point, like, did I kill people? Well, yeah. How many people did you kill? Well, no. Tell me. Was it 100, 1,000, 16 million? What? You know, it's just
16 million. And I'm gonna kill 16 million more unless you give me the fucking cure right now. All right, and I'm gonna keep going through this every day until you give me the cure. Because if you're going to give me a grenade, you're going to give me this, you're going to give me that, you're going to have to give me the cure. And that's what's going to make them say no. And once the no comes, then I think that the series can ramp up. Because in all honesty, though I like this series, I do, 100%, you got one more episode for this for me. One more episode of her going shopping to Foot Locker. One more episode of people hanging from the buildings. And we're okay, Carol. One more episode of that.
For the joke to be too much for you, where they have to get something going, like a plot of some sort.
You gotta move it along. Like, what's gonna happen next episode? She's gonna go to the hospital with this girl, where the pirate lady's recovering, and
Paraguay guy probably will show up. I'm guessing he'll end up showing up.
Something has to happen. You got to do something straight. I forgot. It's only.
Oh no, I think it's 9 episodes. I think the final is on Christmas night. It
was 6 episodes. Then they already lost.
It's not 6 episodes. It's 9, I believe. I believe the season finale comes out on the 26th, on Friday the 26th, which is the Christmas Day night.
Yeah, that, and then I know what happens when something premieres on my birthday. I don't know if it's a fight. Something premieres on January 8th on my birthday. I know something that comes on there.
Is that when the Paul brother is going to get killed on Netflix?
No, that should be in December. But now something
when we finally get to see him get his ass kicked, unless you book some rules in there for him to like not get his ass kicked somehow. Because isn't there a time we saw him fight someone real?
There's a time when it's time to cash out, and you cash out.
This is it, right, Tony? I don't want to get too into boxing here, but isn't this the time that
you cash out? You make the most money you can make fighting, cash out, get knocked out, cash out real quick, and then just keep promoting it and make your money. That's it, you know. That's just the way it goes. You know, I don't hate the man for doing it, because Mike Tyson could knock me out for $100 million. I said it back in the day when he was in his prime. I fight Mike Tyson for $100 million, And as soon as I felt the wind, I would be on the floor flopping like a fish. Yeah, I'll sell it. I will sell it like I'm Shawn Michaels. You would,
Like a Heartbreak Kid doing sweet music, dude.
I will sell that motherfucker like I got hit with the Stone Cold Stunner. Boy, I will sell that shit, bro. Trust me.
I'm with you, man.
Well, I don't blame him whatsoever. I think he's done a great job with his career. He's built the hype. He's built his company.
It's over now, though.
Cash out. Cash out and be good with it. There's nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't look down on him in any other way. He's not a professional boxer. He's supposed to lose to Anthony Joshua. You're not supposed to beat him. But now you have a promotional company that you're going to be able to get more money from. Just sit back and you don't have to worry about that no more.
But Tony, you're at the point where this next episode, going into episode 4, wheels need to start spinning a little bit more for you to stay as compelled to it. The slice of life thing has been, okay, 3 episodes of it. I get it. I get this world. I get the joke. It's fun, but that can't be the whole thing. The whole thing can't be, again, the one man, last man on the earth show, whatever it was.
Yeah. Can't do that.
You can't do that here. There needs to be some sort of something happening, right?
Let's just put it like this. If the pirate lady died from that grenade outside, I wouldn't give a fuck. I wouldn't have gave a fuck if it died. If the pirate lady went away with that dude and she didn't save him, I wouldn't have given a fuck.
Yeah, why should we care?
Yeah, I wouldn't give a fuck if he just left and that was it. They have not done a job yet of making us care about any other character but Carol. And therefore, because of that is, and we know Carol is the main character and she can't die, there is no drama in this show for me right now. In order to build some drama for me, they have to introduce somebody and then allow me to care about this person, because I don't care whatever Carol happens to Carol at any particular time. I know she's not dying because she's the lead of the show and there's no other cast. So it's all about her.
We need a dog or something. Like, okay, where are the dogs? They mentioned the animals. Okay, we talked about animals. The animals are all, so if the zoos were released, the rat, as a good point about the rat being the cure, it's within that rat or within some sort of the rat, any of those rats in that situation. Where did the animals from the zoos go? Are they just roaming? Did they just put them all? Like, are the tigers out there being tiger? Like, is what's going on? Like,
they're nice now. They're just eating grass and shit.
Right. Or some of the creatures high enough function that they're part of the hive mind. Are they making out with orcas? So the oceans are these things too?
It's the Zootopia in this motherfucker.
Right. Like if these animals, where are the dogs and where are the cats? They said that the dogs ran off their leashes and stuff like that, but where are the dogs? My dog, I don't care if you broke my dog with it. That dog wants to live inside me. That dog wouldn't leave me. Like, the dogs would still be around unless they actively made the dogs go somewhere else.
And then the issue would be, you don't want to kill the animals, but you don't care if the animals kill each other, right? Because we always going to have the animals who eat meat. But that's fine, but you don't want to kill an animal. So how does that work with your whole situation and everything else?
Yeah. You know? And do you put Joe and I were talking about this a little bit, and I just don't see how they do this. Do you take the zoo animals and put them back in nature? That just means they'd get killed by the ones that are there. You can't do that. You can't just say, hey, we're going to take all the lions or whatever, all the cats that are in captivity and throw them back in the jungle. Their smells are off. They would get murdered and killed. You can't just introduce.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't know how to hunt. You wouldn't know how to do these things. You wouldn't be a part of a pride. You'd just be sending them to their death.
Right. Do you just put them in a city? You clear all the humans out of Detroit and you put all the lions in Detroit or something like that?
And they're all going to die. They have nothing to hunt because you don't believe in killing animals, so you can't put the deer in there with them. So who are they going to hunt? And what are they going to hunt? They don't have the same camouflage. You're not going to be able to sneak up on things. So it would not work.
This show raises a lot of questions, Tony. So so that makes me ask the question, are the animals somehow tied into the consciousness so that they can control them into some orchestration of life? Or have they set this up that they have a group of their own humans feeding these animals something or doing and I want to see all of that. If you're going to do this kind of show, to your point, you need to spread this world out. Maybe this is Carol's our entry point, but very quickly we need to expand our focus of this and see how all of these things are working. Because if not, we're just playing the sci-fi dartboard game. Oh, is it this? Is it that? Is it, like, well, what's going on here? I want more to sink our teeth in. You're doing an excellent job. If you haven't already, make sure you're watching Tony's theory videos, because you're picking like diamonds out of like not much information here. Like I'm
trying to. I'm not getting any traction. I got about as much traction as ballerina slippers on a pavement of ice.
Hey, I'm lying on a bed of ice in my channel. The podcast, the Talking Pluribus podcast, is doing very well. Maybe this audio cast might be a bonus.
It's funny. I look at these and I look at these fucking YouTubers. You know what I mean? I look at these YouTubers and I see these fuckers who every fucking other episode they're covering fucking Spider-Man, fucking what's up Batman's asshole, who's fucking Wonder Woman, and now all of a sudden they're calling Pluribus. Now all of a sudden they just jumped over here, and this is the type of show they cover. They ain't covered shit before, right? Ever. You watch them at any other time, they've never covered nothing about black cats, pussy, and how this all, and now all of a sudden they cover Spider-Man and who's fucking Mary Jane and Aunt May, and now all of a sudden they're in the Pluribus. They're all about.
Now I'm just gonna say something that I saw a channel. I'm not gonna name names, but we'll call them Head Airplane or something like that. And I swear that it was literally Tony's thumbnail a day after. It's like that. I think they talked to AI and said, "Could you copy this thumbnail and post it?" It was like literally the same picture of her with the same like filter on it. Like it was. I mean exactly. Like they just changed the words. So that it's out there, but be lucky, Tony. I'm not big enough for anyone to even copy me, except for him. Except for him.
Now they watch the views I'm getting, maybe they'll stop. It ain't working with him. Maybe we'll stop.
welcome to us. But no, honestly, we've been doing a great job so far getting some people. And Tony, anytime you're welcome over to get on there, and hopefully some of our discussions.
I appreciate it. Like, listen, I ain't got nothing to say about everybody. Got to make their money and understand these guys make their money and everything else. But I got respect for my man Phil Issues guys and my brother. As always. But people we don't Pete Peppers and stuff like that. Like that guy who covers. This is the stuff he covers and everything else. It's just the people who piss me off are the people who. You just do comic books. Yeah. You're inside a fucking TV. You got a little fucking dog puppet and everything else. You never did no shit. And now all of a sudden you're jumping on the bandwagon. And the whole thing is that I cover these shows, the shows I actually like. I don't cover it because I'm a business. And a lot of them are businesses, and they have writers, and they have people who do their thumbnails, and they have people who do it. I only cover the shows I like. A lot of these other people, they're just covering those channels, are just covering the show. And I look at them as fucking Walmart. That's what I look at them. They're fucking Walmart. Going into a small town, trying to drive all of the little places out of business. And that's the way they look at it. And that's what the fuck they are. And that's why I got no love for those motherfuckers. But Phil, hold down. I go to the bathroom. I got to drain. I hate to break the dam, but I have no choice but to do it.
It happens. Everybody, thank you so much for checking out Teflon TV. Make sure you subscribe here. So yes, this show, it's just an interesting dynamic. I hope it continues to grow and go into different directions and build, because I think they've established an interesting idea here. It's just, as Tony's saying, and as Joe was saying the other night, it needs to develop more. But if you're going to go the perspective of an individual and how they handle themselves in this world, it's hard. You can only play the dark comedy thing for so long. Yes, I find it hilarious, and I'm eating this up in every way, shape, or form. But the joke only goes so far if you're just keeping it a joke. And then you have to get into really how she would act in this world and the dark twists of the reality of it all. But this is where I'm at with it, Sonic. There's very few people I give that sort of leeway to creative energy, that I just drop. I try to drop my opinions of if they can pull this together, because they've pulled it together before in numerous occasions to the point of where I have to accept that they know what they're doing and they may be operating on a higher level than I can understand. And there's just certain filmmakers I'll give that sort of credit to, that like the Scorseses of the world, Tarantino's of the world, certain people that just understand their craft in a way that is not always apparent to the eyes in front of us. Christopher Nolan, whatever. Like, they develop stuff. I believe Vince Gilligan is somebody like that. I believe Sam Simon, David Chase, these people that brought us these great television series, The Wire, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Pluribus now, other series, Mad Men, they know how to deliver something that we don't always be able to capture while it's happening. Vince has not delivered once, he's not delivered twice, he's delivered 3 times if we want to count his connecting to the X-Files. So do I trust that somewhere he'll develop this? Yes. Does it need to act fast, or certain percentage of people are going to lose focus on this that need, and it's not about being bored with it or having short attention spans. It's about grabbing you with a plot as much as you can do a slow character study. As Joe, who is full Joe ranting the other night, Tony, it was like, okay, character progression on her. Like, what character? She's still acting the same fucking way 3 episodes in. Her family's died. This person died. Like, what's going on? Like, and I'm like, I get it, but it's funny. It's a comedy. It's a dark comedy. It's playing that. But as I was saying, you can't play dark comedy like that forever. You either need to take this deadly serious and see how the real human would act in this, or you need to spread the focus up in this world and see more people and interact with more things for this to have the longevity it needs to, I think, to keep, unless to have a very specialty audience for this.
Yeah, I mean, again, 3 seasons is what he's saying, right?
Yeah.
That's not a long time, right? So you figure if this is season 1, then the penultimate season is next season.
Yeah, 27 episodes, 28 episodes, something like that total.
So that means the shit's got to hit the fan by the end of this. She's got to find herself in a situation that she doesn't feel she can get out of by season 2. And then you got to wrap it up in season 3.
So do you think by the end of this season, they turn back, the frown turns upside down by the end of the season?
Yes, I think they have to do it. But in the end, I just don't know how it would be realistic that she would be able to survive if they did that.
Now, connecting on that, Joe was talking a little bit, and I'm curious of your thoughts on this. Do you think this is all, you think it's them harvesting resources?
Yes.
For
that's
what
they want to do. There's some type of resource, whatever it's diamonds or whatever on this planet. That
Joe was speculating that it was alien invasion-y. Do you think it might be alien invasion-y? They're setting up a relay, the resources to build a relay to bring in some sort of fucking invasion thing? Or do you think it's collect resources and go on to the next planet?
Like the Apple TV?
Yeah. Yeah. He was like, it's Apple TV. It's an invasion.
I love that show. I do. Season 1 was so fucking slow, but season 2 was much better. It could be, but they were trying to terraform the planet in Alien Invasion, and kill off the humans so that they can live on that planet themselves. I don't think that's the case. Again, they're colonizers.
So do you think this one they're trying to just strip mine the Earth of some sort of resource and then move on to the next planet?
Resource on this planet that they want, that they're going to get, and then they're out the door to the next planet after they get it. That's what it seems like they're doing right now to me. Invasion, worst ever show. It is not. If you watch season 2 nonfiction, it is much better. First season was so slow. It really was. I covered it. It was a slow, but season 2 was so much better. This last season of the season, no, this season's season 3, I think. Much better this season. If you really watch this show, this last season really was much better. They really sped it up. But that first season was one of the slowest fucking burns I've ever spent.
So speaking of that slow burn, Tony, what do you want to see in these next 2 episodes to get you hooked? What could they do at this point that would get you, sink its claws into you.
I need to care about somebody other than this chick because I really don't care about her right off the bat. Right? So they have not done a good job of making me feel bad if something happens to her. Because the only threat we have right now, right, if something's going to happen to her, is that she gets taken over by the Hive. The show's over, right? And from what they've shown, that's not so bad. So they have to show the bad side of that, right? They have to show what they're really doing, and why they're doing it, in order to make that a bad situation. In fact, everyone on Air Force One wanted to join. Even the guy who was fucking all the chicks, he still wanted to join.
Yeah, he's
right?
like, this doesn't seem so bad. Why wouldn't I want to join this?
He wanted to join. But you wouldn't. But if he joined, he wouldn't be doing what he was doing. Like, that's all over.
No,
right?
And what we know now, if what they would be doing is standing in the dark at night, is what they do. They're all standing, like when with the power situation, they were saying, oh yeah, at night we shut down. So at night at like 9 p.m. or 4 p.m. now in the East Coast, when the lights go off, you're just standing in the dark somewhere in a corner. That's what you're doing.
That's it. So so they have to show exactly the bad part of it. They have to get that, and they have to bring in another character to make me care about it. So I have some threats about other people dying. I don't care if it's Bobby Bacalak. I don't care if it's Omar. I don't care if it's Wallace. You got to bring
Where's
someone.
Wallace, String? Where's Wallace?
I need someone else in this show to care about, so I can have that there's some level of scariness to it, that something bad's gonna happen. Because I have no fear.
You don't care about Zoya or whatever her name is? You don't care about the pirate lady?
No, I don't give a goddamn about the pirate lady. I don't care if her whole face got blown off by the grenade. All right, wouldn't have cared if it would have done nothing.
Come on, creepy pirate lady is entertaining. No, I agree. We haven't met anybody that all the 5 English-speaking people all suck, and I don't mean they suck. Like, they're all caricatures in a way that of like, just, I don't care about them. They all came off as unlikable in their own way, and Carol's unlikable in her own way too. Zoysia, thank you. You keep telling me nonfiction, but I keep calling
Why
her
they gotta
Zoya.
make her name all complicated? Like Zozia. Why can't you just say fucking Bernice? Right? Why couldn't you just say Henrietta? Why you got Zozia? Why gotta be some shit name? These people and these fucking names and shit like that. Just give me a regular name. There's no need for all these fucking crazy names. I ain't got time to remember that shit. Yeah, Fernandez. See, Tony or Phil.
That's
right,
easy.
right.
Yeah, this shit, I agree.
I'm sorry, Zosha.
Zosha.
Fuck Zosha. All right,
Thank you.
Zosha. Nigga, goddamn. Zosha. These guys, these writers of these shows, they're trying too hard. Like, you don't need all this shit. Jill works. If her name was Jill, her character would be the same. All right, it doesn't have to go all crazy about it. It's funny. Like when I see like I see like these I'm gonna say this in a very nice way, and I don't want anyone to take it wrong. When I see like cross dressers, like I've seen them outside and all that and everything, and the names are just out of their mind. Autumn Rose, or like Cold Raindrops. This say your name is Thomasina. Right? Why you gotta go all crazy? You're drawing too much attention to your name. And when you grow all the attention to your name, people gonna start looking at you a little bit. You know what I mean? You should be trying to blend in and shit. Why you gotta have all this crazy ass name shit? There's no need for that shit. No need. Blend in. Just give a regular name. All right? Your name don't have to be Morning Dew. All right? If someone comes up and says, who was this? It's my friend Morning Dew. I'm going to look at you twice. All right? I'm going to look at you twice. Because your name is Morning Dew. And then I might see Adams or whatever. I may not have noticed that before if your name was James, all right? But more than do, I'm gonna give you the look over. Yeah.
But if your name is Towel, it's a little weird, you know.
So I'm gonna happen.
Exactly. Normal names like Skinny Pete or Badger, Sonic. That's just comfortable.
That's
We
right. Say something under the radar.
But to that point with Skinny Pete and Badger, if we're talking about like something like Breaking Bad, for instance, we didn't just focus on Walt and only care about Walt. Very early on, we met a bunch of characters that we could have some investment in, even small investments like in Skinny Pete and Badger, different people in this world. It would be interesting if more people like Carol existed and we followed a few of them throughout the world in different environments and situations. And to Tony's point, met a few people that we can care about, that we can feel like we care about the stakes of their lives. So I agree with you, Tony. Like, we need to meet somebody that Carol forms some sort of relationship that we can care about. We said it earlier, we need a Wilson.
Yes, we do. We need a Wilson in this show. If it's going to be a Castaway show, Castaway doesn't work without Wilson, right? I felt bad for that ball. I was like, no, Wilson. I was like that, right?
I cried when he lost Wilson. I'm not afraid to admit it, Tony.
Yeah, but if you didn't have a Wilson, that show is not, that movie's not the same. We don't have a Wilson in this show yet. And we need a Wilson. The pirate lady is not Wilson.
No.
We need a Wilson, and that's the only way it works. 3 seasons, 2 seasons. If it's a 1 season thing, you don't need it. But if you're going multiple seasons, we got to have it in something like that. We got to have some type of Wilson in here. We have not got, and this looks like it's Moni in the middle with a new name, Moni Sunshine, in here. And let's look at what Moni in the middle is. My big takeaway is, why does Carol say thank you? I get the join is supposed to be AI like AI, but I've heard we all should be thanking AI when we use it.
Hey, Alexa, thank you.
You're welcome. Always happy to help.
I agree. She's a negative, condescending, uptight bitch who didn't even respect her fucking fans. But the thing was, and this is the funny thing about it.
She's George R. Martin.
She didn't respect the fans because she knew her writing was bullshit. And she was like, I can't believe these people are actually enjoying this bullshit. Like that was the whole thing about it. Like, these people really like this shit that I'm putting out. Like, this is crap that I'm putting out. And these people actually enjoy this fucking crap. And she was mad at them for liking the crap. But when we see the flashback, she's all concerned about where she's at.
Where she is, yeah. Am I 11 through 20? Yeah. Yeah, by 11 through 20, where in the rankings I am. I thought that was awesome, the scene that they showed her at the Comic-Con or whatever with all of her fans. It reminded me of what Vince must be like when someone shows up with a sword. Like I made some real blue meth for you, Vince, just like Breaking Bad. Will you take this? And he's just like,
great.
Oh, yeah, great.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, totally. I felt like that was a 1-for-1 way Vince like feels about like Sesame
That's how they all feel. That's how they all fucking feel.
How George must feel when like certain people come up to him and stuff like that.
When they come up to George, well, I would say it may be a little different because George made all of. Because
George is a weird one, Tony. We're gonna do a whole show.
He's a little nerdy. He's more nerdy, but he's more nerdy than Carol is, and you know, it would depend. Like if they made like I made this long claw for you, George. Will you sign it? You know, 100%. I like maybe you know it depends on how hot the chick is. I think George would care. I think you know it's the Easy Eat. It's an Ice Cube's joint he made back in the day, and it was called "Get Off My Dick N-Word and Tell Your Bitch to Come Here." And if you're a male groupie, get off my nuts. All right, I don't care about male groupies. Easy E used to say it all the time. Female groupies is all good. Male groupies, fuck you. And I think that's what it is. And I think that's the way he will look at it. You know what I mean? When it's all said and done. But yeah, I think they all feel like that. Like, how many times could you go up to someone in Three's Company dressed as Mr. Furley and she's seen it? They don't want to see that shit anymore. This is a job to them, all right? It was just a job. It was no more than a job. It didn't mean anything more to them than that job. And you're acting like it's a party of life, like you're all that. And they're not looking at you like, oh my God, you're so great because you fought. They don't give a fuck. They do not give a fuck. It's annoying to them. And they're just doing it for the paycheck and they're out the door. And that's just the reality of the situation. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. You
And
can't
Carl,
go to Jay-Z with a Black Album and say, hey, I got the Black Album, Jay-Z. Okay. Can you sign it? Yeah, okay.
yeah,
It's on the outside.
give me a black magic marker.
As the costume of the Black Album. Look, the Black Album, Jay-Z. Will you sign me? You think he's going to be like, oh my God, this is so great, motherfucker. Yeah, I can't wait to sign. You get the fuck out of my face, you fucking freak. The fuck are you thinking? Why would you do it? That's what they really think. That's what they fucking think about you. And that's the fucking truth. And that's just what it is, man. And anyone else who's thinking anything else is just, it's just delirious. All right. We've been here 2 hours. 5 o'clock comes early when the Don has to get up and go to work.
Easily, Sonic.
All that and everything else. We'll be back. I'll be back again at the same bad time, same bad show. Bill, when is your stream?
We will be
Is Thursday night or Friday?
Yeah, Thursday night at around 10:30 p.m. I might do a midweek stream for the European friendly people, like an afternoon thing or something like that. Also, there's the Talking Pluribus. I'm not fucking around this time. I just took the name Talking Pluribus podcast. That maybe this live stream might be a part of the feed. But Tony's a part of that. But make sure you subscribe to that and give us some Apple ratings. We got one rating so far that says, "God, this is awful." So we'd love some more. We appreciate it. but thank you for so many. We got like a ton of downloads so far in the first couple of weeks. So thank you so much. And we need more reviews like that. Tell us more how awful we are. And
that's the best part. Turn that frown upside down. And always remember that stressed, spelled backwards, is desserts. Remember that.
That's yummy.
Yeah, always remember that. All right. I'll see you cats later. If you like the way you do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.